Hello everyone, so today is just a talk on some thoughts I was having. There's not going to be a lot of concrete, statistical, factual statements made here today in this video. So if you're not looking for any of that, just skip on to the next one. But what I want to talk about is the idea of left versus right. This is the most toxic, most stupid, destructive, and seemingly powerful psychological operation to ever exist. I'm convinced. Maybe in World War II it was stronger. I don't know. I wasn't alive back then. But in the modern era, it is by far the strongest, most dangerous, most powerful, and destructive psychological operation to ever exist. Propaganda operation to ever exist. What is the right? What is the left? Like, we can just kind of take all of these bullet points and put them on either side, right? So like, oh, the right wing believes in the free market and the Constitution. The left wing believes in equality and anti-racism or something. Well, it's actually racism, but whatever. Anyway, so what propaganda does is it has these two groups. It has these two tribes, right? And the entire purpose of propaganda is to brainwash each other into adding negative attributes to these two tribes, adding negative attributes to these two categories, like mental constructs, mental categories. And like, it's like, oh, you're a fascist, you're a racist, all these ists, all these isms, right, is so destructive. When really, this is the truth of what we're talking about. This is the truth of politics. I went over this in the Meme Review 7, but if you missed it, this is real politics. You have all these constitutions at the top, you have all of these constitutional features on the left, and then there's a yes or no answer for if the Constitution contains any of these features. So does this look like a binary? Does this look like a 1 or a 0? There's these binaries in this meme, a yes or no binary in the meme, but it exists in this XY frame rate. It exists in the X versus Y construct, graph, whatever. So, and then you could even change these yes or no's to a strength, to a numerical number, and then you get like a 3-dimensional matrix of constitutional features. So this is the reality. Reality is way more complex than a binary. If reality was a binary, then God did a very shitty job at making reality, didn't he? So what's more likely? God did a shitty job, or you're just an idiot? And everyone else is just an idiot too. I think everyone's an idiot. I don't think God did a shitty job. Not at all. I think God did a great job. But we are all hyper emotional idiots, completely consumed by propaganda, by lies, by professional manipulators. These people are paid millions of dollars a year to manipulate your sense of reality, to tear families apart, to tear communities apart, to tear cities apart, to tear religions apart. And that's all they do, and they use the television to do so. The television is the perfect tool to rip apart culture and to rip apart your psychology, your individual psychology. So here is another meme. This one I did a while ago. You probably missed it. I did a whole video on this. I'll post it in the description, but you can just pause and look. So reality is sociology is reality. This is what reality is. And politics is what everyone deals with 99% of the time. Maybe 95. I'll give you 95, okay? Maybe not quite 99. Actually, I don't know. It might be 99. No. It depends on the community. I don't know. I guess it might be based on the community. But yeah. That's a total shit show. You have to focus on sociology. Everyone needs to focus on sociology. My channel is sociology. I don't do a politics channel. I do a sociology channel. So here is another good meme. This is more sociology. Does this look like a... Does this look like a binary? Does this look like a 1 or a 0? A 1 or a 0 is the absolute minimum amount of information you could possibly have. And then it doesn't allow for any growth. It doesn't allow for any unity. It doesn't allow for any knowledge, because you have to fit this mold. There's the mold on the left and there's the mold on the right. And there's nothing in between, and there's nothing overlapping. And it's like the dumbest way to look at the world. The absolute dumbest way to look at the world. But the divisive, hateful news and political parties right here, they construct this world for us, and we have to fit inside of this world because of democracy as we know it. So democracy as we know it creates this world, creates this stupid tribalist binary that we all secretly hate. No one actually likes this. Again, no one likes this psychological operation that has consumed and destroyed the culture. No one wants it. No one likes it. It is a manifestation of our bullshit two-party representative democracy. It is a reflection of the failure of the U.S. Constitution, is what creates the left versus right, stupid Democrat versus Republican bullshit. In our ecology, in the social contract, in the panarchist constitution, none of that will exist. It will dissolve. See right here? Dissolved. Democracy as we know it. Dissolved. It won't exist anymore. Like, oh, I'm on the left. It's like, what the hell are you talking about? People will say, what city are you from? And you'll say, I'm from San Francisco. And they go, oh, okay, now that tells me a lot about your politics. Instead of this left versus right stupid shit. This left versus right BS. It'll be, what city are you from? Oh, what city are you from? Oh, can I see your constitution? Oh, okay. I just read your city's constitution. Now I know more about your lifestyle. I know more about your reality. I know more about how things work over there. But right now it's just a color. It's just like, oh, I'm a blue. Oh, I'm a red. Oh, it's like, what does that tell you? It doesn't tell you anything. Imagine if we had a 10-page constitution that said everything to know about a certain region, that said everything to know about a certain people's law and a certain people's governing process. Wouldn't that be better than a 1 or a 0? Wouldn't that be more sophisticated than a 1 or a 0? And the most insane part about this whole conversation is that it's 2022. Elon Musk has satellites flying around space at Mach 21, sending billions of ones and zeros to each other through high-powered lasers that send JPEGs and memes across the world to your smartphone that you're holding in your hand through the air as you're on Facebook. But the political system, the political process, that's capitalism. That's where capitalism is at right now. But the political process is stuck on a 1 or a 0 binary, and they want to murder each other over it. They want to kill everyone. They want to destroy the whole society because I'm a 1 and you're a 0. That's the intellect of the political system. That's the sophistication of the political system. Unbelievable. It's so sick and it's so disturbing. And the panarchist constitution is the solution to this. The panarchist constitution solves all of that because it's the 10th Amendment on steroids. If San Francisco wanted communism, San Francisco can have communism. And that is a warning to anyone who currently owns property in San Francisco. Get out now! Hurry! But under the panarchist constitution, San Francisco can have full communism. I don't necessarily recommend it, but it soon will be a free country, and you guys can go nuts. So, just leave everyone else out of it. We're gonna vicariously live through communism with you guys through Twitter. How does that sound? Does that sound like a good idea? Can we shake on that? Can we can we shake on that plan? That sounds like a great plan. Other than what we're doing now. And wouldn't that be freedom? Like, there's this clip that went around a lot years ago. It was A King in New York, or The King in New York or something. And it was a Charlie Chaplin movie about anarchism. And which is because Charlie Chaplin was actually an anarchist, and he got his citizenship removed by the United States for being an anarchist. And something that was brand new, this just gives you an idea of how much freedom we've lost, how much freedom has been stolen from us. A concept that was brand new at the time was the concept of a passport. Before the passport, you could move to any country in the world whenever you wanted. You can emigrate to any world that you want, any country you wanted in the world, because there was no passport system. There were no green cards. There's none of that. So he was ranting about the passport. It restricts your freedom of travel. It puts walls up around the entire world. And this is something that the panarchist constitution would definitely discourage. We want freedom of movement between these cities. We want people to leave cities when they do poorly and move to cities that are thriving. So it's like, may the best system win. The Deng Xiaoping, when he created the special economic zones, the slogan they used was, let 1,000 flowers bloom. That's the market. That's what the market is. Let 1,000 cities bloom. That is the panarchist constitution. That is the magic of having dozens of different constitutions with dozens of different sovereign people living under those constitutions. So this is the 21st century. This is what the 21st century needs. I don't give a shit about your left versus right bullshit. And you shouldn't either. You should be focusing on psychology. Well, yeah, psychology is important. But you should be focusing on sociology. You should be focusing on everyone needs to focus on sociology. Constructive policy debate. Logic and reason. Chart reading. Economics. Math. Historical analysis. A scientific study. Constructive and high IQ. See, over here at the politics, you have emotional rhetoric. You have hate, slander, the isms, constant ism, constant ist, racist, fascist, misogynist, all of this over and over and over again. It doesn't mean anything. It's just a tactic. It's a tactic to attack your lizard brain, your lower evolved cortex, right? The front part of your brain, the thinking part of your brain. If it is not higher thinking, if it is not on a higher level of thinking, if you can't ignore the propaganda, if you can't reject the propaganda, if you cannot hear the propaganda and consciously say no, you hear the propaganda, you consciously say, no, I will not accept that into my worldview. I will not accept that filth into my psyche, because I know it's wrong, I know it's harmful, and I know it's designed to get me to hate my neighbor, to get me to hate my fellow man, to get me to hate other Americans. So this is like a foundational part of consuming anything political, because there's so much manipulative garbage. It's really disgusting, and that's by design, ladies and gentlemen. It's the ruling class creating that divisive bullshit by design. They don't want you to unify. They don't want you to learn. They don't want you to educate yourself. They don't want you to have solutions. Like, this channel is censored for a reason. Doesn't matter how positive you are. It doesn't matter how smart you are. In fact, the smarter you are, the more likely you are to get censored. They seek out intelligent people, and then they slice their Achilles heel. That's exactly what they do. And that's okay, as long as these videos can pop up. And it's kind of cathartic for me too, to make all this stuff. Like, I think I would have had a psychotic break a long time ago if I wasn't able to at least feel that I'm making a difference, even if I'm not, even if I'm failing entirely. But yeah, I consider myself on the right, quote unquote, simply because they are against the New World Order. They are against one world government. They are against tyranny. And the other side kind of wants the tyranny. The other side worships the power. I don't worship power because power doesn't allow for things like this. See, this is the dissolution of power. This is my ideal system, is the dissolution of power. The only power this system has is enough power to make this UBI possible and then to throw criminals in jail, really. That's pretty much about it. That's all this thing does. That's all the social contract really does. And it gets a little more sophisticated, you know, there's a little more detail than that, but really the most of what it does is enables the arrest of criminals and collects enough taxes for the UBI. So I don't like power. Power is the biggest flaw of humanity. Might makes right is the biggest flaw in humanity. It's the difference between a barbaric society and a civilized society. Is, do you respect might makes right? A civilized society would say, no, I don't respect might makes right. I respect morality, I respect reason. I respect mathematics and the scientific method. I do not respect might makes right. A barbaric society does respect might makes right. So a barbaric society puts all of their effort and all of their money into weapons of death. Does that sound familiar? Puts all of their money into prisons and police. Does that sound familiar? That is a society that worships might makes right. That is a barbaric society. And then we wonder why we're fucked up psychologically. And we wonder why we're hateful psychologically. And we wonder why our entire society revolves around that abusive institution, the monopoly on violence. Because we're barbaric. That's why society revolves around the monopoly on violence known as the government. And if we break the monopoly on violence, if we, I don't want to say break. I want to say, if we, what's the word I'm looking for here? Soften. Is that a good word? If we ease away from the monopoly on violence through through just allowing experimentation, just like Deng Xiaoping, peace be upon him. If we let 1,000 flowers bloom in the United States and we move away from might makes right, we will see prosperity, we will see healing, we will see productivity, we will see joy, and we will see unity. Because we have moved past the PsyOp. We have moved past the left versus right. We have moved past the binary. We have moved past the might makes right. And we are now entering a new civilized, enlightened age of mankind, of society. And that's all we have to do, ladies and gentlemen. All we have to do is accept this. And join my Discord. And tell your friends and share this content. Silicon Valley has created all of the tools we need, all of the communication tools we need, all of the information age tools that we need. The computer I'm talking to you through, the microphone I'm speaking into right now, the series of tubes that is the internet, all of these servers, all of these things were created for this very moment, for this very purpose. To reject might makes right, to accept reason, to accept civil society, because we do not have a civil society right now. And I think everyone could agree with that. I think everyone could agree with the fact that we are not living in a civilized society. All of this crazy nonsense with the elections, with the legislature, it is psychotic. It is evil. And once we dissolve democracy as we know it, once we dissolve the divisive, hateful news and political parties, then politics will bloom like 1,000 flowers. There won't be the binary anymore. Okay, it will dissolve, politics will dissolve into sociology. It will dissolve into sociology. And then we will be able to discuss math and economics and logic and reason and policy debate. And we can say to ourselves, hey, would society be better if rent was $300 a month or $3,000 a month? Would society be better if we have 20% inflation or 0% inflation? Would society be better if we have a 2-day work week or a 5-day work week? Would society be better if we had 100 city-state constitutions or one global fascist tyrannical government? Would society be better if we used 400 gallons a month? 400 gallons of gasoline every year, which I think is the US average. Last I checked, like 400 gallons per person per year. Or 10 gallons per person per year. Which would be better? What do we want from society? Because the democracy as we know it has dissolved. We don't have to waste our time anymore on left versus right. We don't have to waste our time anymore on infighting for the next stupid election, the next stupid worthless election. Daniel Schmachtenberger, when he was talking to Lex Friedman, he said, an autocratic society actually gets things done because they don't have all this elections and they don't have infighting. But a representative democracy has all this infighting, and everyone's anger and everyone's focus just burns up as heat, waste heat. In science, they call when you want work to be done in science, usually the machine gives off heat, and that heat is considered waste to the scientist, to the engineer. They call that waste heat. And do you feel heated right now? See, everything is connected. Everything, as above, so below. Right? It's the universe. Our society is a machine, and for the last 10 years, for the last 20 years, our stupid system is just boiling with heat and anger, and it's all waste heat. Doesn't do anything. Doesn't accomplish anything. And when democracy as we know it is dissolved into a multipolar system, into a system with 100 different constitutions in 100 different cities, then all of a sudden you have your sovereignty. All of a sudden you're free. And when you're free, you can accomplish things. When you're free, you can be productive. Because you're not wasting your time with stupid left versus right bullshit. How many comments have you upvoted thinking you're changing the world? How many comments have you left thinking you're changing the world? And, you know, I like to pretend I'm enlightened on this channel, but I have spent a shameless amount of time. I've spent a shameful amount of time trying to influence the collective on social media, trying to enlighten the collective on social media. And people just double down on this PsyOp. People double down on worshipping the state worship, the worship of power. Because they're afraid of freedom. Freedom is not really... Freedom is the enlightened path for humanity. To ignore power and to say, I myself have the power, this is not what we are built for. We are psychologically built to worship power structures, to worship social structures. We're a very tribal animal. And to say to yourself, I can build my own tribe, I can disregard the people that rule over me and build my own system, this is not something that comes naturally to people. They're quite terrified of the idea, actually. They're quite horrified of such an idea. But that is the enlightened path. That is the path that makes the best outcome. Build your own system. But I have good news, guys. I actually built the system. So all you have to do is follow. I cut down the trees through the forest. At this point, I even paved it with asphalt. At this point, it's like a goddamn bike path with overhead low sodium bulbs, low pressure sodium bulbs. The orange ones is low pressure sodium, I believe. And dimly lit. I don't want to disturb the natural environment too much with high powered bulbs. It's like 250 watts, I think would be. That's another thing. The lights in arcology will be nice and dimly lit, unless you choose otherwise. But the government lights will be nice and dim because it doesn't create too much heat. It doesn't waste too much electricity, and it's just if you have dimly lit lights, I just like it because then the people living in that society can then choose to have some orange, and the lights don't fight each other. The government lights don't take over the orange. Do you see what I'm saying? They don't overrule the orange. Then you could have some orange, you could have some blue, you could have RGB, like you could have a laser show. And if those government lights are really low, if they have really weak bulbs, then it allows for all of the people living there to play with the light, to play with the shadow, to play with their creativity. And I really just went off on a weird tangent, but yeah, we're probably going to have like 250 watt bulbs for arcology. That's what I was thinking. We'll see. Maybe 400. And it's going to be indoors too, so actually the light actually reflects off of the walls and makes the ambient light stronger. So a 400 watt bulb inside is much stronger than a 400 watt bulb outside. That's how that works. So, because light does actually bounce around. That's why you can see things. So, yeah, that was a little tangent. Maybe I'll do a whole video on that, actually. That sounds like an interesting idea. But I've went on a bit too long. This is already like 25 minutes or something. But it's a very passionate speech, and I want you to share it with people. Because the left versus right is the most destructive and the most dangerous PsyOp ever created. And the only reason... It's not based in reality. Left versus right is not based in reality. It's not based in science. It's based on our two-party system. It's based on our two-party representative democracy system. And when we have direct democracy with no political parties, then the left versus right won't exist. It's gone. It's over. It dissolves into nothing. It like sand through your fingers. It becomes nothing. So this is why the direct democracy is so important. This is why dissolving democracy as we know it is so important. Because the two-party system is so destructive. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? When the GOP wins in 2022, which they probably will, Mitch McConnell ain't gonna do shit. Mitch McConnell is gonna have all the power, and he's a swamp creature, and he's not gonna solve anything, and he's not gonna lift his pen or do anything, lift a finger to do anything for anyone. So everyone's going to claim victory in 2022. All the people are going to be like, yeah, populism has won. We're all saved. And due to our system, that one guy who's been in Washington, D.C. for 30 years is going to laugh at the whole thing. He's going to laugh at you. He's going to laugh at us. And he's not going to do anything to help anyone, to fix anything in America. I promise you. Nothing will improve. Nothing will be solved. The best that's going to happen is we're going to slow down the New World Order. That's the most that's going to happen. But I promise you, Congress will never solve anything. Congress will never be the solution. The solution is the 1,000 flowers blooming. That is the solution. I'm fine being a leader. I'm happy being a leader, but you have to be a follower. Okay? We need We need followers. We need people who have lost faith in Congress, which ideally is a huge amount of people now. This is the goal. The goal is to lose your faith in your fake God, known as Washington, D.C., known as the GOP, known as the Democratic Party. This is crucial to the 21st century becoming a utopia. You have to lose your faith in the false God, and you need to follow something real. I'm not asking you to follow me. I'm asking you to follow the social contract. I'm asking you to follow arcology. I'm asking you to follow the idea of the physical three-dimensional city. That's what you're following. I'm just the messenger. I'm just bringing it. I'm the man bringing it to you. I'm the voice bringing it to you. The nobody. Okay? My goal is to show you the door, but you have to walk through it. I'm just like Morpheus. Okay? I'm handing you the red pill. I spent a whole long time creating the formula for the red pill. Creating the recipe. Like cooking meth in my garage. And the social contract is the result. The social contract is the red pill. And I need you to share it, and I need you to follow, and I need you to join the Discord, damn it, come on. Otherwise we're fucked, and otherwise evil wins. And we retain democracy as we know it. In fact, democracy as we know it gets worse. It gets stronger. The divisive, hateful news and political parties gets stronger. Did you notice it's getting stronger? Do you want it to get stronger? Is this fun to you? Is anyone enjoying this? I hate it. I hate waking up every day and having to deal with this bullshit. Like, Clown World's funny, but that's intelligent, artistic people coping. The honkler is a coping mechanism. Okay? And thank God for it, because I certainly need it, and you probably do too. So please, share this video. I've spent enough of your time on this rant, and try and have a nice day. We're so close to victory, ladies and gentlemen. And then everything's coming to a head. And with the truckers, with the military standing down, with the police standing down, that's probably the biggest white pill I've seen yet. And March 1st, with the convoy in the United States, the occupations in the United States, that's another massive white pill. And the messages that these convoy, after the mandates are gone in Canada, which they seem to be almost gone, our next message for the convoy needs to be free market government. This is the next message that we all need. The GOP winning 2022, sure, why not? But that's like 25% of the story, is the GOP winning in 2022. The other 75% of this story, of this wave of liberty, is free market government, is arcology. It's actually probably more than 75%. It's probably like 90%. Is arcology and free market government. If we can have an occupation of the United States, and that is the resounding message, then it will officially usher in a new golden age. We will officially bring about a new golden age. And you know what? The truckers can all sit around a campfire, and they can all write their own city-state constitution right there together if they want to. And then that constitution will exist. And cities can say, you know what? That's my constitution. I want that constitution. And then it will be so. This is all possible, ladies and gentlemen, because of the Declaration of Independence. We need to raise up the Declaration of Independence and say this is our human right as a free people to alter or abolish government. I don't care what Congress says. I don't care what the president says. I don't care what Trudeau says. It's right there in the Declaration of Independence.